I sit down listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Rashorty. So I sit down patiently listening to he. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up a Jala, is when I hear he start calling IWER George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say, IWER you singing Tata. Last year he come back with the same Tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it the people does whine. In short, he never used to treat young guys so young so crude. I way that teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again, 'cause everybody knows I could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I does maintain my family. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Chuck, just think it over, think it again. They're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and do the IWER, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard, let us work harder. 2 months later the bank come to take my car. To be a Kaisonian you have to make fast money. Money for vitamins, you have to eat healthy. You have to drive good car, not no jalopy. You can't come in town looking hungry. You have to remember you is a role model, and anywhere you go people will look up to you. That kind of lyrics Shorty I them want me to sing, like they want to see me eating from the dustbin. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again, 'cause everybody know IWER could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I just get work in Miami. Think it over, think it again, think it over, think it I say, think it again. Pling, I hear my telephone ring. When I say hello, it's Pelham Goddard calling. He say, IWER, I'm looking for a Shorty. Last year he record, he has some money for me. I hear a beep when I say hello, it's Kenny. Songing like if he have a pain in his belly. He and all want a number for the ras, 'cause he find he playing up in the ras. All them songs this man sing to bad talk me. He never paid the studio no money. I don't know why he don't trim that hair on his head and brush his teeth and pee and go in his bed. Think it over, think it again, think it over, think it again. IWER George. It's over, think it again. IWER. Think it over, think it again. Listen, it's about a Kaisonian who talk to and all. I want to hear the stories. Are you ready to hear the stories? Let me go. Think it over, think it again. Come in. I know all them Calypsonians listening, and everybody just shoo-shooing. They're listening to see if I put their name in my song, because it have other Kaisonians who fight me down. It have one working in the cultural ministry. Every song he sing is the same melody. He gets some doctorate quite up in Michigan, trying to say I give him Kaiso bad injection. But when I hear he say merchant strip Kaiso heart, and Winston Stevens just tear Kaiso apart. Look Chuck, just let me tell you something, and it know this. You need to see a musical psychiatrist. Think it over, think it again, think it over, think it again. IWER George, ladies and gentlemen. Think it again. IWER. It are more people in. All ready for them? Are you ready? Carnival Sunday night, I went to the Marsh Grass show. Them back in bread I'm having, I back in crow. When I hear Tiger is that this in this point boy name, I say like this big fat woman ain't had no shame. I could remember the last time she made money. She and she sisters was riding a donkey. So don't try to make people feel IWER is a fraud when you worship my music like if it's your God. I know things hard and you want to eat. Everybody want to look nice in the street. Tell Tigeress if she want to make her comeback. Don't try to take no ride on IWER George back.
Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again.
Come back, IWER. I say come back again. Back to the story around Shorty. Are you ready for it? Shorty I is a spiritual fella. Everybody know the man reading the scripture. I don't know what books he reading in Peparo, but if it's the Bible, he's supposed to know. Jaja say leave all judgment up to he. He take it on his own and started to judge me. I don't care if he tell people IWER is allowed. I know no bank ain't coming back to take me home.
Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again.
IWER George, come back IWER. One more time. Think it over. Think it again. They're trying to tell people all I just sing is crap, but I know everybody here know better than that. This year I say, control your property. What more advice they want from a man like me? Chalk just trying hard to convince I that people could party to Dubai. Look, Chalk just man, I'm telling you for the last time, go home and let your wife teach him how to wine.
It's over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again.
Think it over. Think it again. Listen, if you want to see Rash Shorty, Chalk Dust, any one of them, tell them IWER George say. Think it over. Think it again. I sit down listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Rash Shorty. So I sit down patiently listening to he. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up a Jala, is when I hear he start calling IWER George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say IWER you singing tata. Last year he come back with the same tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it the people does whine. If Shorty never used to treat young guys so not so crude, I will that teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over. Think it again. Mr. Shorty, think it over. Think it again. Hail Selassie, think it over. Think it again. Cause everybody knows I could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I does maintain my family. Think it over. Think it again. Mr. Chalk, just think it over. Think it again. They're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and to the IWER, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard, let us work harder. 2 months later the bank come to take my car. To be a Kaisonian you have to make fast money. Money for vitamins, you have to eat healthy. You have to drive good car, not no jalopy. You can't come in town looking hungry, hungry, hungry. You have to remember you is a role model. And anywhere you go, people will look up to you. That kind of lyric shorty I them want me to sing. Like they want to see me eating from the dustbin. Think it over. Think it again. Mr. Shorty, think it over. Think it again. Hail Selassie, think it over. Think it again. Cause everybody know IWER could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I just get work in Miami. Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it, I say. Think it again. Pling, 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 pling. I hear my telephone ring. When I say hello, it's Pelham Goddard calling. He say, IWER, I'm looking for a shorty. Last year he record, he has some money for me. I hear a people when I say hello, it's Kenny. Songing like if he have a pain in his belly. He and all want a number for the ras. Cause he find he playing up in the ras. All them songs this man sing to bad talk me. He never paid the studio no money. I don't know why he don't trim that hair on his head and brush his teeth and pee and go in his bed.
Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it again.
IWER George.
It's over. Think it again.
IWER.
Think it's over. Think it again.
Listen, it's about a Kaisonian who talk to him all. I want to hear the stories. Are you ready to hear the stories? Let me go. Think it over. Think it again. Come in. I know all them Calypsonians listening, and everybody just shoo-shooing, shoo-shooing. They're listening to see if I put their name in my song, because it have other Kaisonians who fight me down. It have one working in the cultural ministry. Every song he sing is the same melody. He gets some doctorate quite up in Michigan, trying to say I giving Kaiso bad injection. But when I hear he say merchant strip Kaiso heart, and Winston Stevens just tear Kaiso apart. Look, Chuck, just let me tell you something, and it know this. You need to see a musical psychiatrist.
Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it again.
IWER George, ladies and gentlemen. Huh?
Think it again.
IWER.
Think it over.
It have more people in. All ready for them? Are you ready? Carnival Sunday night, I went to the Marsh Grass show. Them back in Brother Marvin, I back in Crow Crow. When I hear Tiger is that this in this point boy name, I say like this big fat woman, it had no shame. I could remember the last time she made money. She and she sisters was riding a donkey. So don't try to make people feel IWER is a fraud when you worship my music like if it's your God. I know things hard and you want to eat. Everybody want to look nice in the street. Tell Tigeress if she want to make her come back. Don't try to take no ride on IWER George back.
Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it again. Think it over. Think it again.
Come back, IWER. I say come back again. Back to the story around Shorty. Are you ready for it? Shorty I is a spiritual fella. Everybody know the man reading the script here. I don't know what books he reading in Peparo, but if it's the Bible, he's supposed to know. Judge say leave all judgment up to he. He take it on his own and started to judge me. I don't care if he tell people IWER is a louse. I know no bank ain't coming back to take me home.
It's over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again.
IWER judge, come at IWER. One more time, think it over, think it again. They're trying to tell people all I just sing is crap, but I know everybody here know better than that. This year I say, control your property. What more advice they want from a man like me? Chalk just trying hard to convince I that people could party to Dubai, Dubai, Dubai. Look, Chalk just man, I'm telling you for the last time, go home and let your wife teach him how to wine.
It's over. Take it again. Take it over. Take it again.
Think it over, think it again. Listen, if you want to see Rash Shorty, Chalk Dust, any one of them, tell them what George say. Think it over, think it again. I sit down listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Rash Shorty. So I sit down patiently listening to he. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up a jala, is when I hear he start calling IWER George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say IWER you singing tata. Last year he come back with the same tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it the people does whine. If Shorty never used to treat young guys so young so crude, I way that teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again, 'cause everybody knows I could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I does maintain my family. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Chalk, just think it over, think it again. They're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and do the IWER, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard, let us work harder. 2 months later the bank come to take my car. To be a Kaisonian you have to make fast money.
Property tax.
Money for vitamins, you have to eat healthy. You have to drive good car, not no jalopy. You can't come in town looking hungry, hungry, hungry. You have to remember you is a role model, and anywhere you go people will look up to you. That kind of lyric Shorty I them want me to sing, like they want to see me eating from the dustbin. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again, 'cause everybody know IWER could sing Kaiso, the party.
Morning again, Trinidad and Tobago. Now, this is the tax form that they sent to me however long ago this was, right? Where they wanted they want to know how big your house is, how much bedroom, what kind of tile you have on your ground, if you have carpet, if you have terrazzo, if you have gypsum, who living on the land, what kind of land it is, the purpose, the livestock, the whole hullabaloo of what it is that you have on your land. Now I go in and start the war. You see this shit? I am starting the war. Let me just hope this light a light. And it's lighting. You see this? This is war. I am starting the war. This is war.
Newly re-elected president of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, Roger Roach, said the TTMA supports the implementation of the residential property tax once citizens can see the benefits in their communities. At the association's leadership discussion event on Tuesday, he said government must ensure the tax is both reasonable and equitable.
If this means not having to change engine mounts, bent rims, or damaged shocks because of bad roads, or flooding in our communities and businesses when a bucket of rain falls, we support the empowering of regional corporations to do their jobs.
Mr. Roach said the operationalization of the Revenue Authority is also critical for the country.
To prevent fraud and tax evasion, and to widen the tax net by ensuring that the entire tax burden is not carried by already compliant businesses.
But as it relates to VAT refunds, he said the TTMA will put forward several recommendations to resolve some of the issues and asked government to make this an utmost priority.
But right now, we have 46 very vocal members being owed approximately $500,000 TT in outstanding refunds. Ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret that the current system is not working.
In response, Trade Minister Paula Gopi-Skun said government and the Finance Minister remains committed to reworking the system to ensure VAT refunds are paid in a timely manner.
And I think he has committed to reworking this system, and I'm trusting, and I'm going to have a conversation with him on that. I know what it means to you in terms of cash flow. I get all of the requests coming to me sometimes.
Sonolala, TTT News.
Property tax is coming. When I first told my wife the news, she said,
well, at least that makes one of us.
Today we're talking about how your property tax is calculated and what you can do if you object to the government's valuation of your property. Firstly, the property tax you pay is based on a percentage of the annual rental value of your property. We'll get to the calculations for residential and commercial property in a bit. First of all, let's talk about how the annual rental value is established. All properties in Trinidad and Tobago have a rental value. That value is a calculation of the rent your property will attract if you decided to rent it out. You're probably asking,
well, who calculates this rental value?
According to the Office of the Prime Minister's website, the rental value will be calculated by the qualified professionals at the Valuations Division of the Ministry of Finance. Hopefully these qualified professionals are not customs officers, because if that's the case, and it's up to their whim and fancy, we ask that. On a serious note though, the rental value is calculated based on the location of your property, classifications, dimensions, modifications, and the category of the property, whether it's agricultural, commercial, residential, or industrial. Let's talk about how to calculate your property tax. Earlier, we established that the tax on your residential property is a percentage of the property's annual rental value. So let's say you receive a valuation that says your monthly rental value is estimated at $3,000. That means your annual rental value is $36,000. To calculate your property tax, here's a quote, and this is directly from the horse's mouth. The Property Tax Act makes it clear property tax is only 3% of the annual rental value for residential properties, after first deducting 10% from the annual rental value. So if you receive a rental valuation of $36,000...
Relax, that is not the amount of property tax you have to pay.
To calculate your property tax, you'll multiply $36,000 by 90%, by 3%, and you'll get $972. I failed mathematics twice, but my wife assures me that 90% on your calculator is written as .90 and 3% can also be written as .03. So let's assume your annual rental value comes in at $50,000. To work out your property tax, you'll multiply 50,000 by 0.90 multiply by 0.03. Commercial property tax is 5%. So let's assume you rent property to the government for $575,000 a month. Here's how you'll calculate your rent. To get the annual rental valuation, you'll multiply $575,000 by 12, because you have 12 months in the year. The total is $6,900,000. Remember, you can deduct 10% from that figure. So your formula for property tax is $6,900,000 multiplied by 90% multiplied by 5%, which is equal to $310,500.
I think that's how you say that number.
You're probably wondering what happens if the valuation is too high or too low.
Well, if it's too low, hopefully you'll hush him out.
But let's say you live in Westmoreland's Lange Park or Palm East and your annual rental valuation comes in at $36,000. I imagine your ego might be a little bit bruised.
But you'll hush him out, right?
If the value is too high or too low, you can object in accordance with other grounds outlined in Section 19 of the Valuation of Land Act. A couple things to note about objections. You must object within 30 days of receiving your valuation. The Office of the Commissioner of Valuations will respond in 12 months. So if you submit your objection the same time you get pregnant, your child should be 3 months old by the time you get a response. You can submit your objections online. Given the government's track record with software, my guess is the online process is going to be as frustrating as the salary relief program. Do you remember the salary relief program during COVID?
It sucked.
I'm hoping things are a little bit different this time. Oh, one last thing. Objection doesn't exclude you from paying property tax. It's kind of like how being a member of parliament doesn't exclude you from renting property to the government.
Maybe that's a bad example.
It's kind of like when you say the child is not yours, but you still have to pay child support until the test results come back in.
Maybe that's a bad example too.
It's kind of like how a song could be the anthem, but that doesn't exclude you from singing it over as a soca. So yeah, property tax is coming.
Well, at least that makes one of us.
Red Wall News.
Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. This morning we are chatting with the Honorable Brian Manning, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, about property tax. Good morning to you, Minister Manning.
Good morning. Good morning to you guys. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas season.
Certainly did, and I hope you did as well. Now, I want to get into this topic quickly because everybody's been talking about the property tax. Everybody has their concerns, they have their opinions, but I think we should clear up some facts this morning. Firstly, tell me about the valuation process to be able to determine what property tax that you're paying or you're supposed to be paying.
Yes, I think most of Trinidad and Tobago would have received by now a document that outlines your annual rental value. Now, what we've been saying from the very beginning is that your annual rental value is not what you'll be paying in property taxes. How you calculate your property taxes from your annual rental value is that you multiply by 0.9, then multiply by 0.03, and then if you want to get your monthly payment, you divide that number by 12, and that will give you your monthly property tax payment. So I think that clears up a lot. The one big misconception that's out there, that the annual rental value is not what you're paying in property taxes. It's a number that you can use to calculate what your monthly or annual property tax payment will be.
Okay, so you use this number to be able to determine what the payment will be. But if you receive more than one notice for the same property, what do you do in that case?
There's information on there as to where you can contest any part of the process that you like. You can either call, email, or reach out to the valuation office. You can let them know exactly what happened, and then they will assist you from there.
And is it the same process if it is that you didn't receive, if you submitted a notice of valuation but you didn't receive any of the confirmations or anything like that, you can do that same thing and go through the information?
Yeah. Yes, eventually you should receive that document, but you could always reach out to the Commissioner of Valuation office, and they will assist you.
And if I have to file an objection, what would be the time frame that I have to do within?
I'm not certain of the time frame, but definitely the process is the same when anyone can file an objection. You can also file for an exemption if you believe that you're living on a fixed income or you are unemployed for an extended period of time and decide that the property tax will be too onerous for you for whatever reason. There's an exemption process also that you can file, and it will be something that is considered.
What qualifies you for this exemption?
Well, as I said, it's someone living on a fixed income, someone who may be going through severe financial hardship for an extended period of time. Situations can be different, and they will all be individually evaluated by an independent board of persons who will decide, whether an exemption is allowed or not, depending on your situation.
Okay, and can somebody object on my behalf?
No, you have to object on your own behalf.
Okay, so in a situation where it is like an elderly person who may be the owner of the home, but they may not be controlling the property, for example, they have to come in and still do the objection on their own behalf.
Well, that becomes a legal issue. You may have to have power of attorney, but you must have some sort of locus standi in the issue to do that on someone else's behalf.
Okay. And if I object or the objection is in progress and you all are doing the considerations and all that and taking the time, do I still have to pay property tax while that's happening, or does it exempt me from paying until that's sorted out?
It would have to be considered, and it depends on your situation. But we try to, any sort of objection, we try to deal with that as quickly as possible. So you should know within a short period of time exactly how, what will be your property tax payment or what the decision is concerning whether you should pay now or what you should pay at all. So the process is there and it's ready to go.
All right, nice. Now, some people have been saying that, they see things like, all right, my house and Ayanka's house might be the same size, but in two different locations. What are some of the factors that determine what the valuation and the property tax is exactly?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get too complex into the entire thing, but there are three ways to value a property, right? There's the cost method, there's the comparison method, and the income method. We have chosen here the income method. That's why we look at the annual rental value, because that says, the proposed or supposed income revenue that your home could possibly generate. Now, why would you use that? Because the income that your home can generate encompasses every factor that gives your home value, which includes geographical location, it includes number of bedrooms, but it has a water feature. That number would include all of those things. The other two methods are extremely onerous and difficult. Like the cost method, you would have to add up every item in your home that would give your home value. That's every tile, every door, every countertop, every light fixture, everything that gives your home value. You have to find the market value of that item and then add it up to come up with a valuation for your property. That, of course, is extremely onerous and ridiculous. The other one is the comparison method, where you would have to find a home similar to yours, almost exactly like yours, in a similar neighborhood or in your neighborhood that has recently been sold, and then use that number to make adjustments to your home for any differences to come up with a valuation for your property. Now, you can see how complicated that would be.
Yeah.
That would be extremely difficult to value thousands of properties across Trinidad and Tobago using that onerous comparison method. And that's why the income method, which uses the annual rental value, was the one that was decided because is maybe the easiest one to value thousands of properties and the easiest one for people to understand. And it encompasses every factor, every characteristic that gives your home value. And that's why that method was chosen.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for explaining that. Now, in one of these situations where we have the value that your house can possibly bring in, let's say, for example, there's a house in, I don't know, the Woodbrook area that would be high value because of a location, geographic location and neighborhood and all that good stuff, right? But it's one of the older houses that is it's a single pensioner living in the house, for example. Does that take into consideration, is that considered at all when it comes to what the tax would end up being? Because the value of the property would be one thing, but what the person is possibly able to pay would be a different thing.
Yes, I mean, that's why you use the annual rental value. If you're living in a much older home in an area, and the house right next door to you is some modern plush mansion, with water feature and ACs in every room and a covered carport for 4 cars, clearly the rental value that you can ask would be completely different. Also, if someone is living on a fixed income like a pensioner and would find things difficult in terms of paying this property tax every month, they can apply for an exemption, and they would be considered to not have to pay the property tax at all. So that is something that I hope Trinidad and Tobago can recognize and understand, and appreciate that if you believe that the property tax valuation that you have received is too much for you to pay, you are free to file for an exemption. That option is there.
Nice. And do you consider anybody else besides pensioners as fixed income earners?
It could be anyone. I mean, if you're working on a minimum wage and things are difficult, or you have an extended period of unemployment, and the tax maybe, and you can prove that this tax monthly payment or annual payment would be too much for you, you can apply and it will be considered.
Okay, and is there, I heard you mention paying it monthly. Is there an option to pay it monthly, quarterly, or annually, or does it have to be monthly?
I believe that's something that's still being worked out. I don't have a final word on that, but it's something that will be announced going forward.
All right, fantastic. Now, are there any things in place to protect the most vulnerable of us in society?
Yes, there's an exemption if you believe that you can't pay, and there is you can query the actual annual rental value that you have received. There are also programs with social development where you can apply for state assistance, whether it's a monthly payment, whether it's a food card. We have a host of social programs designed to assist the most vulnerable amongst us.
All right. I want to do some math with you real quick, Minister, if you don't mind. Can you give me the equation you said again? That would be how you work out the monthly payment?
It's your annual rental value, ARV. That would be on the evaluation form that you would have received, multiplied by 0.9, then you multiply by 0.03. And then to get the monthly payment, you divide all of that by 12.
And you divide all of that by 12 to get the monthly payments, right?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. So in terms of our annual rental, can you give me an estimate of what a value of a house would be? I mean, we mentioned Woodbrook before, so let's stick to Woodbrook. The annual rental value of a house in Woodbrook would be approximately how much?
In Woodbrook, I can tell you about San Fernando East.
All right, tell me about that. That's perfect.
In Woodbrook.
Give me San Fernando East. That's perfect. Give me Gulf City.
Right.
That's San Fernando East or West?
San Fernando West, close though. So let's say, the annual rental value in San Fernando East is somewhere around $2,000 monthly.
Okay.
So we have $2,000. And then, so you multiply that by 12.
Right, so we have 24,000.
24,000. So that would be your annual rental value. That's how much money you would generate from renting your property for 12 months. Okay? So you multiply that number.
Wait, Minister. You tell it, which part of this house is renting for $2,000 a month?
Let me know.
So are you from San Fernando East?
No. But I'm about to move to San Fernando East if that's the rent.
Well, the people that I see on a regular basis who come to me for assistance, they will say, exactly what rent that they are paying.
All right, no problem.
I'm using that strata of society. Right?
All right, so you're working with $2,000 a month.
Yeah, right. Because they're the ones that would be, maybe possibly more disproportionately affected by the tax than say someone in an upper income bracket. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So your annual rental value in that case would be $24,000, right?
Right. Multiply that by 0.9. You get 21,600.
21,600.
Right.
You multiply that by 0.03. What
That's
do you
648.
get? 648. That is your annual property tax payment. $648. $2,248. And now to find your monthly payment, you divide that by 12.
Which is $54.
And that comes up to $54 monthly.
Okay. So that's an easy way to break it down so that people get a clear understanding. So if the annual rental value of your property is $2,000 a month, you would end up paying $54 a month in property tax. That does seem too bad. That does seem too unfair.
Some people got scared when they saw the annual rental value and the valuation form, but that is not what you're going to be paying in taxes. This is one of the lowest property tax rates in the hemisphere. And it was intentionally done that way so that it would not be onerous to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We know people have had over a decade for not paying property taxes, but we wanted to be able to gently reintroduce this residential tax rate. And then eventually we're going to also have a tax rate for agricultural and commercial properties also being included. So we intentionally kept this property tax rate low so that it would be, a gentle reintroduction of this property tax rate to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister, two things. One, are there plans to increase it as we go forward, or are we going to maintain this rate as we go forward? And secondly, can you just remind us the purpose of the property tax?
Yes, I cannot say that there would be any kind of significant increase in the property tax rate in the foreseeable future. This rate should be the way it is, held stable at this point for, as I can see, quite a few years going forward, to my knowledge. The main reason for the property tax reintroduction is to underpin local government reform. The funding is going to be used to finance delivery of local government goods and services within every municipal body within Trinidad and Tobago. And when I say local government goods and services, I mean trash collection, road repair, drainage, sewage, cutting of grass, every single thing that your regional municipal body or corporation or whatever it is delivers to your community. The fixing of schools, playgrounds, all of those things are covered by these municipal bodies. You have municipal police, all of that. So that's really what the taxes are for. And the main reason for it is that property owners are the ones who benefit the most from these municipal goods and services. If you own a home, you could not enjoy the use of that home if the city corporation did not do its job. If they didn't spray for mosquitoes in many parts of Trinidad and Tobago, you couldn't live there comfortably. You see, so you benefit the most from it. And that's the main reason why the property taxes are used, to generate these revenues, to underpin the services being delivered by municipal corporations across Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much, Minister Manning. One quick question before you go. People who are living in HGC houses, for example, would they be responsible for paying any sort of property tax? Just to clarify.
If you are the homeowner, you would have to pay property taxes.
Right. If you're renting, you don't have to worry about paying property tax.
No, not for the most part. The homeowner would have to pay.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Minister, and for sharing and clarifying a lot of information and misconceptions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best, Trinidad and Tobago. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas.
A fantastic good afternoon going out to each and every one of you all that are locked on and listening with us. Wherever you are, wherever you're listening to us from, I want to say good afternoon to all of you all. I have one more thing to play. I have something else to play for you all, and then I'm going to open the phone lines. So let's take a look at this, and then we will get into it. All right, we started the show different today. The show has been started different, and for a reason. One, for good conversation, because I played a video earlier on where a young lady, or a lady, she burnt up a property tax form and said that she is starting a war. And she's made some other allegations within the video. And I'm also playing some stuff here, and then we will get down to it and break it down, if that's okay with you all.
In a nutshell, the property tax plays out in 4 steps. First, an assessor determines the value of all property within the boundaries of the municipality. Second, the local government establishes the amount to be raised by the tax. Third, the town calculates the tax rate. And fourth, each property owner gets a bill. So let's imagine a small town. To make things simple, let's make it a very small town with only 3 homes in it. This imaginary very small town still needs a road, a bike path, a school, some kind of police and fire protection, a water supply, sewer system, all the things local governments provide. How is all this going to be funded? In the first step, an assessor needs to figure out how much each house is worth. She looks at the real estate market in the area, looks at each of the houses, and asks, if this house were put on the market right now, how much would it sell for? She crunches the numbers and concludes that each home is worth $100,000. Next, the town determines how much money needs to be raised by the tax. Our town has a town council, and this year they land on a budget of, say, $15,000 to pay for these services. The finance director knows that some revenue will be coming in from sources other than the property tax. Maybe $2,000 is coming from direct charges for things like water and sewer bills, $1,000 from parking fees and tickets, maybe $5,000 from state aid, and how about $1,000 from federal aid? The remaining amount our town's finance director calculates is $6,000. That's what needs to be collected by the property tax. In the third step, the town government sets the tax rate using a simple equation: the amount to be raised divided by the total value of all the homes. Remember, our financial officer said $6,000 needs to be raised, and thanks to the hard work done by our assessor, we know that the value of all the homes combined is $300,000. So, plugging it into the equation, the tax rate is 0.02, or 2%. In the last step, the town sends out a property tax bill to each homeowner. It's calculated by putting the individual property value into the same formula. In this case, each homeowner pays $2,000 in property taxes. These simple steps for calculating the property tax are actually key to understanding why the property tax is so effective. Because the town knows the total value of property before setting the budget and tax rate, they can adjust their tax rate year to year depending on the needs of their budget and changes in the economy. This allows for a more transparent and democratic budgeting process and can insulate public services and taxpayers from unexpected changes in the economy. Let's see how this plays out. For instance, what if the economy takes a turn for the worse? Some businesses close, people lose their jobs, and the value of real estate plummets. The assessor would go out and record the new property values, which have all fallen to $50,000, and then the town council would get together to decide what to do. They know that the total value of property is now $150,000, half of what it was before. Now the council needs to decide how they want to adjust their tax rate and spending in light of the recession. Someone might say, our residents are struggling and they can't afford to keep paying the same tax bills as before. I think we should leave the tax rate at 2%, which means tax bills would be reduced by half. We need to give our residents some tax relief in these difficult times. But someone else points out that if we do that, the amount we raise will also be reduced by half. We won't have enough money to keep the school open. We'd have to lay off the teachers and send all the children home. I think we should raise the tax rate to 4%. That way, we'll be able to sustain the public services our residents depend on. In the end, our town council compromises, raising the tax rate to 3%. Individual tax bills are somewhat lower than before. The town cuts back on some services, but they can still keep the school open. This flexibility is also valuable when times are good. Say a high-speed rail station is built nearby, driving property values up. For simplicity's sake, let's just assume everyone's property is suddenly double its original value. The assessor would record the new property values, which are now $200,000. The town council would get together, and they'd realize that if they left the tax rate at 2%, everyone's tax bills would double. Someone would say, hey, even though our real estate is booming, our residents will not be happy if their taxes go up that much. Someone else points out that, We need to upgrade the roads and bike paths to accommodate the new rail station. This time they decide to lower the tax rate to 1.5%. They'd raise an additional $3,000 to cover the new infrastructure. Individual tax bills would increase some, and residents would be pleased by the new economic activity and their increased property wealth. Every town needs to set a budget and then raise revenue to pay for that budget. With other taxes, like the sales tax for instance, it can be difficult for the town to meet their projected budget. With a sales tax, all the town council can do is just set a tax rate and see how much money comes in. But with the property tax, because they know the value of property up front, the town can always hit their budget right on target. This is one reason why the property tax is the most stable tax available to local governments. In this graph comparing how revenues from different taxes change year to year, you can see the income tax and sales tax plummet during economic recessions, but the property tax remains stable. And those debates about priorities in the town council, they're so productive because of how the property tax works. The unique mechanics of the property tax make the whole system more democratic, transparent, and efficient.
So we're gonna take some calls. 342-008-1466-5391. Those are the numbers to call. In fact, we're gonna pay the bills, and when we come back, I'm seeing the calls coming in, but it's just like a couple seconds before we go to break. So we pay the bills, and then when we come back, we get into our discussion for today. It's a beautiful Friday. I'm here, and we are going to get into some serious conversation today on a Friday. So don't go anywhere, we'll be back.
Think it over, think it again. Listen, if all of you are shorty, chalk dust, any one of them tell them I what George say. Think it over, think it again. I sit home listening to my radio.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM. As we transition into summer, we continue to talk politics, current events, entertainment, and what's trending while balancing the talk with some of your favorite tunes, both old and new. Our purpose is to keep you informed and edify you, as well as to give you food for thought on the current affairs of this nation and the world. Keep it locked to the Street 919 FM every day, all day. Our on-air numbers are 342-0081 and 466-5391. Visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Street 919 FM. YouTube, IWER TV.
The Street 919 FM.
Share the life, share the life.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Oni Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud.
Wow.
Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Tune into the Street 919 FM this and every Thursday from 10:25 a.m. to 10:55 a.m. for the program Conscious Talk.
Emancipation cannot be a one-day dress-up in African car event. It has to be a serious process in which resources are provided to our people to ensure they are emancipated. You cannot develop on handouts. That's another form of domination and control. When programs and policies are put in place so that you can develop economically, so that you can become business people, then and only then we can begin to talk about economic development.
Conscious Talk.
Inferno Friday and Seductive Saturdays are back at Vibes Event Space, formerly known as a Shade Nightclub.
They not like us. They not like us.
Tobago, your favorite event venue, is bringing back Inferno Friday and Seductive Saturday. Party with the all-star DJ cast. Drink specials all night. This weekend at Vibes Event Space, formerly known as the Shade Nightclub. Let's party like we used to as we continue the vibe. General entry free until midnight. VIP $100. Call or WhatsApp 394-3212 or 620-3057 to reserve your cabanas and VIP space. Come enjoy the entertainment, enjoy the vibes, and the atmosphere at the safest venue in Tobago. Vibes Event Space, formerly known as the Shade Nightclub. Inferno Friday and Seductive Saturday are back.
The Street 919 FM mobile app is now live. Keep in the loop with all your favorite programs. Be in the know first and carry us wherever you go. Listen and watch us live at the click of your fingertips. Download our mobile app now. Go in your favorite app store, whether it be Android or Apple, and type in The Street 919 FM.
Oh God, call on the Lord. Call on Him. Pour on us, oh God. Oh God, as we pray. Oh.
You are invited to join Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour all-night prayer every Friday evening, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this ministry deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated and can be sent through the First Citizens Bank, account 795-222, in the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For more information, please call 753-1113. May God richly bless you.
The light of your glory.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Think it over, think it again. Listen, if you see Rash Shorty, Chalk Dust, any one of them, tell them what John say. Think it over, think it again. I sit home listening to my radio. They say they're going and jam some calypso. They say they have something brand new from Shorty. So I sit down patiently listening to he. But when I hear the man start back talking preacher, and then he start to diss up a jala, is when I hear he start calling IWER George name. I hold my head and start to ball, not my name again. 3 years ago he say IWER you singing tata. Last year he come back with the same tata. It look like Shorty I running out of lyrics, and he want me to teach him a few new tricks. I is the man who sing boom boom 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and every time I sing it the people does whine. If Shorty never used to treat young guys so young so crude, I would have teach him how to gamble and eat some food. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again, 'cause everybody knows I could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I does maintain my family. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Chuck, just think it over, think it again. They're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and do the IWER, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard, let us work harder. 2 months later the bank come to take my car. To be a Kaisonian you have to make fast money. Money for vitamins, you have to eat healthy. You have to drive good car, not no jalebi. You can't come in town looking hungry. You have to remember you is a role model, and anywhere you go people will look up to you. That kind of lyrics Shorty I them want me to sing, like they want to see me eating from the dustbin. Think it over, think it again, Mr. Shorty. Think it over, think it again, Hail Selassie. Think it over, think it again.
Think it over, think it again. The Street 919 FM. So we're back. I want to say good afternoon to all of you that are on the live. I'm seeing you all. Maria Lyons, Donna Griffith, Sarah Richards, Donna Walcott, Eustace Simon, Alicia, good afternoon. Joycelyn, good afternoon to you as well. And all of you that are on the inside, Maria Lyons, good afternoon to you. Let me see, Miss White, Karen Spooner, good afternoon to you as well. And in fact, everybody who's locked on and listening, whether you're listening to us on the mobile app, or you're listening to us on YouTube, or you're listening to us via the website, wherever you are, it's a pleasure to have you all there. I do apologize yesterday, guys. You know, a lot of things happened, and I'm still in the process of organizing some other stuff, and I had some commitments yesterday that took me to the Southlands in Trinidad and kept me there for a while, you know, and I met some amazing people as well. And for the next couple days, I have a lot of commitments to fulfill. A lot of it is in doing with some of the charity work that we've been doing, helping persons. Still have a lot more things in the frameworks, and you know, just is a blessing to be a blessing. That's what I would say. I had some commitments as well today, and was out of the vehicle for most of the day, so you know, it was a little hectic. But regardless, I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I want to say as well, thanks to all the viewers that take specific interests in me, in terms of my goodwill, checking to make sure I'm good. I want to say thank you. Special thanks to Angie and many others. Wouldn't call the names. You know, always making sure I'm good. Even at times, you know, today was a day I did not even put back on my other phone. It died, and I just didn't have the urge and unction to charge it. I will charge it this evening and try to see how I could clear up some calls. So I'm going to open the phone lines 342-008-1466-5391. Honestly, We had a conversation earlier on in terms of property tax. And I feel like there's been a lot of things that some people have still not been able to get off their chest where property tax is concerned. Are you okay with the property tax? What is your concerns about property tax? Based on us receiving evaluations of our properties, are we okay with it? Are we happy with the evaluations that we've received? And of course, anything else that is also on the fence line. Anything else that is on the fence line, we will be dealing with today as well. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. But when I watched that video and I saw that the lady rip up the stuff and thing, I said, boy, you see that? I'm come here today. Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
Yes, my boss.
Hey, what's going on, Mano?
They are taking it like, well, to me, to my property,
nice,
and what they're charging, I believe it is.
You there, Mano?
When you have your property and you value your property and they charge you what they charge you, you're supposed to know. And that some people don't want to pay nothing at all. To me, I find what they charge me, I find it is okay. I find it okay. It's something like about $350 a day or something like that, if you check it out properly. So sometimes you buy things, you go and sit down, you drink so much your beers with your partner and them. You ain't gaining nothing from that. Sometimes means they want to drink the beer, but because you're with your partner and you're drinking the beers and them, and you're paying for it. If you property and CPEP, that's paying CPEP for keeping all your place clean, you're getting lights around the area, you're paying for lights. How about the teachers in school? Who paying the teachers in school? Who paying the scavenger man? All kind of thing. This is what that's doing. And as long as we learn that and understand that, we will be you think what the problem with that is the people who have properties and don't want nobody know they have properties. They have properties hiding all about. So where you get money to buy that property, that's the whole thing about it, you know. Where you get that property from, where you get this from, where you get that from. You know, we see for this, how you come by this just 4 houses. And this is the problem. But the property tax, it is okay because I know I can make a mistake in America, a place in America, I think property in America. I don't make sure I pay that tax one time, you know. Those Skylark, that, you know. Yeah. Right. For my children and wife and mother, make sure, and that tax has to pay. Then Skylark in that.
All right,
yeah, man. So we pay the tax in Trinidad and Tobago, man. I don't care who say what, is who don't want to pay nothing at all. If you live in nowhere, you got to pay taxes in living nowhere. If you have property that's in living nowhere. If you're renting, it's the landlord has to pay that. We're worrying about. You understand? So, but as long as you pay the tax in Trinidad, develop Trinidad like a first world, only one first world, everybody is both talk about America and Singapore and all about Singapore. You had to pay a tax in Singapore. In America, you must pay a tax. In Canada, you had to pay a tax. You can't pay like that. You know?
All right, Mano.
Yeah.
Thanks. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dale.
Good afternoon.
You got you today?
Yeah. I sort out these sort outs.
All right, well, very good. I hope you get that flyer for all kind of activities. Anyhow, property tax. I don't have a problem paying it. What I find, and which was not made clear in many cases, is the disparity in rates. Because Mano just revealed that he had to pay, he said he only work up to $3.50 a day. And if you calculate that, that is over $100 a month. But we don't know if he living in a mansion or he living in a one-bedroom house. Similarly, there are those who have to pay $900 a month. You understand? And this is what was not explained to us. What causes the difference? Whether it's your tile, your terrazzo, your carpet, how much washrooms you have, all of these things. Because I know some people who very, very rich, and they're paying $300 a month, and I have some people who are struggling, and they're paying $600 and $700 a month. There are some people living in the country area, and you know, the rates higher than some living in the urban and suburban areas. So I think the disparity is what have a lot of people confused. Now, they just base your thing on whatever assessment they use, because in most cases, the people never come by your house. So they probably base it on the pictures they see. But in most cases, people never come by your house to check out your reality, to check out how you obtain your house, whether you get it by gifts from your family or you get it because you purchase it and that kind of stuff. Now, my bone of contention there is that the law should be equal for everybody. HTC house renters or property owners, well, house renters in particular, understand they don't have to pay property tax. I am subject to correction. Now, if they don't, they live in communities, and these communities are served by the same garbage truck, by the same CPEP cleanup crew, by the same everything. And how come they are not allowed to contribute, to this upkeep? I mean, if you charge the people who rent an apartment $100 a month, if you want to use that figure, across the board, then they too will be able to say, well, I am making a contribution. But I don't know how many HTC apartments we have in this country that people renting and don't even pay the rent for. So far more for to pay property tax. But I don't have a problem with paying it. I'm a visually impaired person there. My pension was cut because of a little scenario. But, I still struggle and I still have to pay it like everybody else. And finally, before we go there, since Monday 30th is budget day, I want to see the government, because of the high increase in prices, increase the allowances given to persons like social welfare by 300, like disability grant by 500, like old age pension by 500, to buffer the effects of high rising prices. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for your contribution. Caller, good afternoon, welcome. Good afternoon, caller.
Dale, I want to ask a question. When was the last time we had to pay property tax? How many years ago, you know?
I don't have an exact figure as to how long.
Well, I think it's 15 years.
Okay.
Because we didn't pay tax in the last administration also. This one is now start.
Mm.
My thing is, Dale, how will all this thing being done? How was government serving the people for the last 15 years or 14 or whatever the years that we haven't paid property tax? How is it? You know?
Go ahead with the contribution. I can't answer the question.
You don't know? No, I mean, I am wondering, for the last 14 years, how was all that being paid? Right? And that's why I'm calling to say I don't agree with the property tax.
So, okay, because so in other words, because everything was, as far as you're concerned, seemingly going by as
not seemingly went by, not seemingly, because they weren't paying tax. We weren't paying tax for the last
we weren't paying property tax, but that doesn't mean because things went by that it went by easily. Mm-hmm. If we look at the budget, if we look at certain things that we would have borrowed money to pay for, where money went and all these different things, I don't think.
Well, then why didn't they take the property tax then? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I'm against it now. If it was going bad or they were struggling, why did they pick up the property tax from the year one?
So let me ask you a question. I'm engaging you a little bit. So if it is that the economy changes and we need to find additional revenue to help subsidize so that we could focus monies more on other things, you don't agree with the property tax. I mean, I'm going with what I've seen on the media where they said how the property tax will be used, where it will go, what the funds from the property tax would use in terms of into the different municipal corporations and all these different things. You still disagree with the use of the property tax where the funds are concerned? So who's going to fund the corporation?
Listen to me. See me. All I said. No, it might.
No, I'm asking you a question. You can't regress on. You're digressing on your statement. No, I'm asking where are they supposed to get the money from to finance the corporations? Is it that we want to stay with the senseless wrecking all over Trinidad and Tobago, and they'll make money off of that?
What is senseless? What the senseless?
Wrecking of vehicles.
How I mean wrecking?
Have a nice day. I'm in the mood. Call a good afternoon. Welcome.
Lady voice, how you going?
Are they cool?
Right. What people seem to forget, right? As you mentioned, right, that part of the implementation of the tax to help the regional corporations address issues such as upstream, roadworks, and other related issues around the border serve. Hello, you hear me?
Yes, I'm here, and your brother, Laurent Clay. Go ahead.
Right. People seem to forget that. But you see why it is people are seemingly fearful is because the property tax will establish who own what. Right? And if it is, right, that you all of a sudden accumulate some property, right, either if I get a lot of properties passed on during like inherited from your family, that's well and good. But if you have, remember, land fraud is an issue in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So you have to explain how you get that. Right? Also, people who have properties and are renting people big rent, $4,000, $5,000, and $6,000 per month. Right? Also have to deal with that. You remember, it is either 2 or 3% of the annual rental value. People seem to forget what the finance minister said. People forgetting. They're against property tax. As a young fella, I remember I used to go and pay land tax in Tunapuna Regional Corporation. And every so often I would go back and ask what is going on. And they said that in the last administration, they stopped that, but they're looking to bring it back. But the laws have to be amended. Right? All over the world, property tax is being paid. In every country of the world, property tax is being paid, brother. I don't see what is the big thing. It's the people who have cocoa in the sun, who have properties probably gotten by other means. You have to explain how you get that. You have to explain. So that means the government will be in a business. Right? All this is part of revenue that the government will be collecting. Right? This is also why the Revenue Authority is important, because all those people who slip into the cracks will find it a bit more difficult now and do their rightful duty and pay the tax.
All right.
Keep on keeping it being regulative. Right? Locked on listening. Good program.
Yeah, man. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Dale.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, bro. How you going?
Are they cool? What going on, brother?
Cool. I quite glad to hear you back on the radio today, man.
Yeah, man.
Speaking on the topic, you know, there's a controversial topic like others, like the Revenue Authority and other topics in the past. But in terms of the property tax, I have to say confidently, as a citizen of this great republic, I'm happy with the property tax. You know, I really, really happy with it. As you were saying, but not to piggyback on your statement, you know, how are the corporations going to fund their activities, etc., etc. You know, the government has to do what they have to do, and the government operates in the best interest of the citizen. So as a citizen, I really happy with the property tax, and you know, I good with it. You know, and just to digress slightly, I'm wrapping up now. A lot of people just be upset with Carmen Burt or, you know, some of his measures and vision, but I really don't think citizens really understand the vision of Minister Burt. So, you know, people have their opinions and everybody entitled to their opinion, but I'm happy with the property tax and I support Minister Burt. That's it for me. So I wrap it up now, right?
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for your contribution.
Listen.
Yeah, man. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, dear.
Good afternoon.
All right, let me tell you a little bit of my business here. I used to pay like I think it was $4.75 in land and building tax. And every year when I go and pay my land and building tax, the director who living down in Westmoreland used to give me his own to pay. And he was paying like $260. So I was querying it with him and asking, but his valuation was since back when in the 60s. Right? And he continued that although the house has been renovated many times and everything there. But I remember Patrick Manning in one of his education on the property tax that he started property tax. It was about that. He was saying that people who live in and could afford it was paying small money, and people who think was paying more than the people who could afford it. So he was going to straighten out that. That is why today you will find some people calling you and telling, boy, my property tax is only about $300 and something a year. Right now, I move from four something to $1,000 and something I pay. Right? And here why I gain for that. You see, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, see when the garbage truck come, then first had to pick up my rubbish. You see, Tuesdays and Thursdays, if I cut down and clean up, cut lawn and I clean up them thing and I bag it out up at the side of the road, the bush truck went and take up that. You see, if I had to pay a truck to go in the thing for that, you know what happened to me? I pay more than the property tax. So my property, that's a simple little thing my property tax working for. And you know I realized too, you see the people and them who do have a bird cage, they pay property tax for, that the bird living in, is them as you want to call it. But they see the people who have a castle with a man hiding in Panama and them kind of thing, let them pay the property tax. I'm not going to scream out my voice and thing out for these kind of people to protect them. I get in my goods and services from them because if the garbage truck don't come and think, I pick up out my phone and call the councillor and talk to the councillor about it. And they know what they do. Sometimes the truck break down and then come, they'll send a relief truck to come and pick it up. And that is what my profit tax working for me. Thank you.
Caller, good afternoon, welcome. Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, Dale. You know, I seen how hypocritical Trinidad and Tobago really is. The whole economic system is based on production, goods and services, and people doing the right thing. And you know, they're watching this government trying to squeeze out ways and means for we to get along since 2015, because the first budget I could remember they read was $16 billion in deficit, you know. When they had to go and borrow here, there and everywhere and take money from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, if you understand me, to stabilize the economy. The people and them start on a good footing right now by increasing production, but it isn't up to that where we'll manage more resources or from whatever good and service that we produce in making sure that we increase production. So I would like the people to know that before do so in the 2007, the 2010 election, and telling people don't pay no property tax up to now, I want to know how much property tax Ms. Bissessa will pay for that property that she have in the Philippines, if you understand what I'm saying, Dale. I wonder why she don't want people to pay the property tax. I see right down in Rosslands, they're putting up 6 set of condominiums there, Dale. You hear what I'm telling you? So these people must just continue getting people to rent those places without paying any taxes on those properties. Please, people, it always have that tax on properties and lands. What I would like this government to do in this budget is to establish the commercial and industrial taxes. Let them bring a bill for those taxes also to run alongside the residential tax. Because you can't tell me you're waiting till we finish, till the residential people finish. Well, let me say you collect from or you establish that so much people in residential and commercial, and then you're looking to get commercial and industrial going. I think right now is to make sure that you have commercial and industrial going there. And one more thing, Dr. Rowley, I do not agree in giving Panchinbago lands to the Indian conglomerate who want to put a cricket academy, because all you would look to give them a deed for that piece of land. And all you're saying that how Panchinbago didn't have no deed. What I would like this government to do, I hope all you listening, is to give Panchinbago the deed for that piece of land. You hear what I say? Give Panchinbago the deed for that piece of land.
So what happened to what I'm asking, caller? What happened to the other property that is being allotted to Panchinbago?
That is nothing. That is something to put a headquarters.
So Panchinbago must get two sets of.
Well, boy, yeah, I'm telling you, if you listen to me carefully, they should have peace in Tobago, peace down south, and peace quite up in the east.
But we're not talking about Tobago. If it is they have been given or allotted a space, why should they have two? And there are other things and other investments that will better the country as well. So we can't share up everything equally.
Well, equally is like giving Panchinbago the deed for that piece of land to establish.
Why? And I'm asking why. What is the benefit?
Well,
what is the benefit of Panchinbago getting two pieces of land?
Listen to me. Well, listen to Ashenia. The people, the place, the acres in Trin City is to establish a Pan City, and what they want to put is a headquarters down in town. That is for administration and everything, and the Pan City up.
So why they can't be in one place? Why can't it be in one place?
Well, one place is Trin City, you know. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're now saying the other place is headquarters and one place is Pan City. And I'm asking why.
Well,
all right. Caller, good afternoon, welcome. I want us to make sense in what we're saying, you know. Because, anyhow, caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dale,
yeah, and you're long that. Hey, man, how long me hear from you?
Yeah, boy, that how the story does go sometimes. Some topics are stray from, some others get involved, you know, and when I get the time to, my mother be working. How you going, my Dale? Everything cool?
Everything cool
afternoon, for afternoon to your listeners and everybody. Dale, that property tax, I just want to throw in a little 2 cents on that property tax. The essence of that property tax is this ill-gotten land that people get to know, partner. That the underlying now, other than supporting the corporations and thing and making life better for for every individual corporation, once the whole scene with local government kick in and thing, you know, once we have cooperation and thing, you know, people will resist. The whole idea, because there are stories, people call in and spoke about how when they started do the things with the property tax, they seen other names on it. So all these things have to be queried. They're sending the bill with a next person, a strange person name on whatever document that they're sending. So that have to be investigated. You know, and I was speaking to a virgin a year or so ago, and he was saying that somebody turned their name, took his surname. His father left a piece of property for him, and he probably wasn't on it, probably living somewhere else and whatever. And somebody do their surname to the name he have and took his property, and he just grieve for it now. So when I explain the property tax to him and how it went and straighten up these things, this is the war. This is the battle. There's a lot of people, and a lot of people on the other side, the opposing side, they know it too. They lost land to people who have means by which they could get a contact in, legal affairs that deal with these things. And all this at a racket, it's exposing a lot of racket, and a lot of people calling on other programs and spoke about how names coming up that they don't know. So a lot of people doing the thing, doing the search, squeezing in the business, doing the false deed and all this sort of thing. And when people come and complain about the property tax, which I don't think is much of a complaint because it's real small money people paying, we fighting for the devil. We fighting for people who rip off people, take people family heirloom, outsmart people. This is the underlying real essence of the property tax, to catch the old big thief and them walking with their shoulders high like they get things legitimate, and they did not get it legitimate and walking about the place like they're so better than everybody in this place. And a lot of people know they have to support it. This is something with all the nuances and all the errors, the population must support this because it's going to expose a lot of old thieves. Thanks, Dale, for allowing me this contribution. Respect, and you have a good day, brother.
You too.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, brother.
Believe that we can bring genuine improvement to the quality of your life by having local government reform. So we got it all done. So we had the document that went to the parliament. And of course, as is to be expected, our colleagues in the parliament want no part of it. You wouldn't believe that these people who spend all their waking moments in the previous years talking about local government, local government, local government. There are 14 corporations in Trinidad. We control 7, now they control 7. You would think that they would have been excited about local government reform when we're talking about greater responsibility, greater fiscal strength, greater improvement in the quality of life in the country. You would think that those people would at least say, here it is. Some aspect of sharing of the authority for managing the country, you would think they would want that. No. Like everything else, including child marriage, they oppose it. We go to court, we go to parliament to stop, to prevent child marriage, prevent men of whatever age from marrying girls at 9 and 10 and 12 and 14. So opposed were they to that. And so were they to defend the status quo. They bring specialist child marriage people in the parliament to put up argument to maintain it. That's what they've done. The other day when I said that in the parliament, they get up on 48-1 saying I am accusing them, I am embarrassing them. I didn't say that. I'm just quoting what you have done. Tell me you didn't do that. Tell me that in Trinidad and Tobago, there wasn't a bill in the parliament to end child marriage. And you couldn't even rely on those who were in the parliament to oppose it. You bring in specialists. And that's what happened. That's what they are. So local government, they oppose. And opposing it on the grounds that you're going to have to pay property tax. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have no property, you have no property tax to pay. And all those who are talking about that, who have property abroad, they are the first in line to pay it out there. And of course, if you have property and you have difficulty for reasons that can be established in paying this tax, there is provision in the law for the Minister of Finance to give you an exemption. But you have to establish that it is so. Not that you don't want to pay it. But if you, for example, let's say for example you are somebody who is on government help already, because we have 65,000 people who get government grants to help them get along during the year. Some of those people have houses, and such persons can make a case that they can't pay the tax. There's provision for them not to pay.
But of the other 400,000 people, 400,000 houses in the country, the average person can pay an average price. And the average price you're talking about is about $1,200 or $1,300 a year. That's $3 a day. Less than a dinner mint. Right? But when you do that, because it's a large number of people, in the same way as the PAYE that Dr. Williams looked at in the early days, where a large number of people, each paying a small amount, gives you a significant pool of funds, which is now to be hypothecated for a particular purpose. We said to them, the money that we're going to get for local government will be collected by local government, kept by local government, and spent by local government for local government districts. What more do you want? But they will oppose it. They will oppose it. It's not supposed to happen. They like what they have now. They want election, election, election. Let's suppose that we leave it the way it is. Do nothing. We have the election. And the election is day 10. Let's say 10th of February is the election. Okay. On the 11th, you know who win the election. But to what purpose? To what purpose? To continue the same thing that you have been saying is not working and is not doing anything for you? And all the visions of doing better, the election come and gone, and you have not offered a single change to improve it? Well, the PNM is saying that there's a purpose for the election. Our purpose in the election coming up whenever the day is called is to bring about change in local government.
They're touting local government reform as their central pillar, property tax. You all remember the property tax? You all remember what you all did in 2010 with respect to property tax? You voted out a PNM government because you told them to axe the tax. Imbert and Rowley wants to come back in 2023 and reintroduce the property tax. When Kamla Persad-Bissessar was the Prime Minister between the period 2010 to 2015, she did not levy a single new tax on the people of Trinidad and Tobago, yet we built hospitals, we built schools, we gave students laptops, we gave single mothers baby grants. This PNM government has given you nothing but misery and worry, and today they want to increase your burden by implementing what? Property tax. We must say no to property tax. We must say no to property tax. We must say no to property tax. When you go to the polls on August 14th, if you vote for the PNM, you will be voting for property tax. When you go to the polls on August 14th, you are going to vote solidly for United National Congress. Because on August 14th, this election is not only about local government. It is to send a strong clarion message to Keith Christopher Rowley and his band of merry men that we are fed up of him and his cabinet and they need to go. They need to go. This election is about crime. This election is about the economy. This election is about unemployment. This is a very critical election, and I urge all right-thinking members of Trinidad and Tobago to vote solidly for the United National Congress. But tonight I want to spend some time on this property tax, because you have to understand what this government is trying to do to you when it comes to property tax. The first question I'm going to pose to you is, who will be liable to pay property tax? Who will be liable? According to the law, the persons who will be liable to pay property tax are those persons who, one, they own the land. So an example, you have the deed for your property. You inherited this property. You purchased this property. You have to pay property tax. But what if you're squatting? If someone is squatting on a piece of land, do you know that person is also liable to pay property tax? Because they are considered to be an occupier of the land. So that person who is squatting, that person who is owning the land, both categories of persons are required to pay property tax. And then I hear this question, persons are saying, well, I live in a HDC home. They live in a HDC house. Will I have to pay property tax? And the answer for that is yes. Yes, if you own a HDC home, you will be liable to pay property tax. I have a statement on the 5th of October 2016 from Robert Green, the Chief Operating Officer of TTMF, who said that they will add the property tax to your monthly mortgage installments. Your monthly mortgage installments will increase because they are going to apply what? Property tax to it. And how much tax you're going to pay? How much tax you're going to pay? If you own a residential property, it is 3% of the annual rental value of your property. If you own a commercial property, it is 5%. If you own agricultural lands, it is 1%. If you own industrial plant and machinery, it is 6%. This is what the PNM is coming for you if you vote for them on August 14th. Are you going to vote for the PNM on August 14th? We are not going to vote for the PNM because we are solidly against property tax.
From the proposed property tax will be used to fund the local government bodies and regional corporations. This, according to Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Brian Manning, who was speaking during debate on a motion to adopt the report of the Joint Select Committee on the Miscellaneous Provisions Local Government Reform Bill 2020 in the Parliament on Friday. He said the Board of Inland Revenue will determine the annual taxable value using the annual rental value, less deductions such as void or loss of rent of 10% of the annual rental value. Minister Manning explained how the applicable tax rate would be applied to the annual taxable value for agriculture and residential properties.
All right, so the phone lines are open 3420081 4665391.
That is 1% on the annual rental value, Madam Speaker. Nothing draconian there. For residential property, 3%. Madam Speaker, if your home or residential property can attract $2,000 monthly in rental income, that means that your annual property tax would be $720 annually. Monthly, it would be $60 per month.
However, Member of Parliament for Oropuch West, Devandranath Tanku, questioned the validity of Minister Manning's calculations of the property tax. He also questioned the disparity in the disbursement of funds among the regional corporations, adding that the Kuva Tabaki Talparo Corporation was allocated $99 million for the year 2022.
What is of concern, Madam Speaker, is that this works out to about $557 per Burgess, which may sound substantial, but when you compare that with Port of Spain City Corporation, and you find out that Port of Spain City Corporation, the dollar per Burgess in their allocation is $5,990. What is this? 1,000%? 1,000% higher per Burgess, Madam Speaker.
MP Tanku said there was no clarity or explanation about how the legislation would address that issue.
All right, to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Prezi here. Well, we're talking tax today, so I wouldn't jump on my organization thing. I will hold that a second. Although it could sound kind of in between two, but it's not that today. And I want to ask, good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, President Trinidad and Tobago Village right here. Now, I want to go back a little bit within the same conversation because I remember it had a legislation that passed, I think that it come down from America, I know big things, right? That it had a legislation that it passed America that it called the FATCA legislation, which they call follow the money. That is a concept that really had tried to be established in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know how far it reached eventually, but on the end of it, we came to 2010 come down the line, and we end up, well, somebody decide not to take up tax and all them kind of thing. But I remember in my old time days, the inland revenue building, I think about Salvatore building was there. We used to have to go down there and pay land tax and we house tax, land tax and house tax. That is how it was. So Today now, since after they did abandon that tax thing, come down some 10 or 11, somewhere come down here, I think. And now that we would like to reinstate the tax, I don't mind that because I know it's a piece of thing that has helped the country anyway. And to take a little tax, who like tax? But at the same time, it has worked out. Right. So, but my situation, listening to this thing for a while ago, I find that the hierarchy, the big building, according to somebody say like Kamala building, I don't want to call no such a name, but people who have big business and house and all kind of thing, I can't mind how you want put them in a real serious position of paying the tax. Because I tell you something, in the days long run, I realized that people used to even like go and sign up on people's land and thing, you know. There are people who lost their land. I don't even know how they lost their land by somebody must see in the revenue and go and they change people's business and thing and take the people land and in problem, you know. So when me is concerned, let property tax come on because people have to pay that, especially when, I mean, if we get the 14 corporation independently and they have to pay the little something, thing. I find no problem in that. Hey, I ain't find no problem in that. If we as a people have to start to make up in mind and get serious and make sure we end up with a good regulation situation so that the thing could happen. But I think I have no problem with the thing happening and I could close there with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Daily Voice.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Daily Voice, something the Prime Minister said to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and it is played on other radio stations. The Honorable Prime Minister said, the people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid. I can see that, I can clearly see that now. Property tax, we have never had that laws in Trinidad and Tobago until Dr. Rowley administration passed property tax laws. All over the Caribbean, the people who pay property tax is because they're under the British laws, the European laws, the white man laws. They pay property tax like Grenada and St. Vincent and Jamaica and Barbados and things. Trinidad and Tobago were never, well, right from independence, we come our way, we move out from British laws, the European laws, the white man laws, and we become independent. Which part we had was to pay land and building tax. When you go to the European laws, the white man laws, who enslave the black community today, and today the black community support that European laws that Dr. Rowley and Imbut and them impose and put us in Trinidad and Tobago, which what we had was to pay $100 and something land and building tax. And for all the years in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, from 1962 to 2023, we had money for all corporations. We had money that picking up all garbage. We had money that fixing all roads. From 2015 to 2024, Dr. Rowley imposed that European laws on us. And all of a sudden, we don't have no money to fix no road. We don't have no money. People say Kamala Prasad decessor, she have a big property. You all not watching all the properties that Rohan Sinanan have? You all not watching all the properties that Faris Alwari have? Call him what build a big building in Port of Spain. He don't have to pay no property tax. The poor man. And people saying the property tax is $300 a year. If you have to check that by annual rental value, your property worth nothing, boy. Your property worth nothing. For you to have to be paying $300 a year and the annual rental value, your community don't even have resale value. Nobody wants to live in your community. You never do no development in your community. And how it is, in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, for the past 9 years, this government taxes on food. This government taxes on the tire that we buy in. This government taxes on if we want to bring something from our way, all taxes the taxes. Can somebody tell us what we benefit, the citizens of this country benefited from 9 years of taxing What we benefit from that 9 years of tax, and if they want to tax property now, what we going to benefit from that? If we never benefit nothing from all that tax, the taxes for the past 9 years, and you're telling us we have to pay, my property tax will be $3,000 a year. When I give this government $3,000 a year for 10 years, that is $30,000 for 10 years. You know what you do for me there? You take my child education. You take my child's start in life. You take my child foundation to impose a white man law in a CARICOM island. That is what you do. That is what Dr. Rowley administration doing. The people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm seeing my thing is blinking here. Let me see what I can do. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hi, Dale. Very interesting discussion. I would say that, I mean, it's high time this property tax was implemented. I think people are comparing to the old land and building, but remember that was based on a valuation that was so outdated. That was from, I don't know, the 1940s, 1950s. You can't, so property tax had to be done on modern day values. And I think that, you know, by and large, the valuations have been relatively fair. I know people that have objected, and they have had adjustments in their ARVs, so that, you know, the valuations division did take on board if you felt that the annual rental value that was put on your property was unfair, and they reassessed it. There are people who cannot afford to pay, and there are provisions for that. You can have it deferred. You can show them that you're a pensioner or that you're on a fixed income and you cannot afford to pay. There are mechanisms to deal with people who genuinely cannot afford. But that gentleman who talked about the government taking away his ability to educate his child, the property tax is going towards the schools and the roads and the lighting and the garbage collection. It's going to go towards maintaining the schools. We always want betterment. We want the schools to be better. We want, you know, the parks to be maintained. So that's what the property tax will be for.
All right, we're out of time. Thank you very much. All right, I can't take any more calls. I literally tried to squeeze in as much as I could. Have a fantastic weekend ahead. And up next will be the news. Whew. Well, pray for me, yes. Pray for me, pray for me. Yeah. Do I even have time for that?
Think it over, think it again. Listen,
the views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
Oh God, call on the Lord. Call on Him. Pour on us, oh God. Oh God, as we pray, oh Lord.
You are invited to join Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour all-night prayer every Friday evening, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this ministry deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath shown showed thee, O man, what is good and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated and can be sent through the First Citizens Bank, account 795222, in the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For more information, please call 753-1113. May God richly bless you.
The light of your glory. HGC coming. Pay up, pay up, pay up. HGC coming. Pay up, pay up, pay up. HGC coming to collect. So pay off your debt. Don't get caught in regret. You better pay now. You living comfortably, but nothing here free. If you owe HGC, then you better pay now. Pay up, pay up, pay up. HGC coming. Pay up, pay up, pay up. Pay now.
Pay HDC first. Visit hdc.gov.tt, click on the Pay Now tab, or click other payment options for more payment choices. You can also visit any NLCB Lotto booth or download HDC's Run Cafe app to pay your bill. HDC, giving you more ways to pay.
Pay now.
Inferno Friday and Seductive Saturdays are back at Vibes Event Space, formerly known as a Shade Nightclub.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Tobago, your favorite event venue, is bringing back Inferno Friday and Seductive Saturday. Party with the all-star DJ cast. Drink specials all night. This weekend at Vibes Event Space, formerly known as the Shade Nightclub. Let's party like we used to as we continue the vibe. General entry free until midnight. VIP $100. Call or WhatsApp 394-3212 or 620-3057 to reserve your cabanas and VIP space. Come enjoy the entertainment, enjoy the vibes, and the atmosphere at the safest venue in Tobago. Vibes Event Space, formerly known as the Shade Nightclub. Inferno Friday and Seductive Saturday are back.
Young people of our nation, ignite your wellness journey with Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan with Princess Omega and Associates. Prevent ill health today and reap the benefit of good health tomorrow. Join us every second and fourth Saturday of each month at 9:25 a.m. to 9:55 a.m., where we bring to you innovative health solutions. Invest in yourself today by ensuring that you're enjoying optimum health. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp us at 868-310-8671 or 364-4464. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our priority.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com.
News from the Street 919FM.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Dale Edwards with the 4 o'clock news on the Street 919 FM, broadcasting live on our brand new mobile app and online YouTube at IWER TV. Let's take a look at the headlines. St. George's teachers strike as tutor criticizes ministry for fanfare and PR gimmicks. Licensing office is under investigation by police. St. Helena doubles vendor stabbed to death, and citizens express outrage over CPL wrecking. Let's take a look at the news in detail. The Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association criticized the Ministry of Education for prematurely returning St. George's students, St. George's College students in Barataria compound. President Martin Lumpkin accused the ministry of engaging in publicity stunts amid ongoing infrastructural issues. On September 18th, teachers staged a walkout due to flood that occurred after heavy rains on September 17th. Students were seen avoiding water in classrooms, with an anonymous teacher attributing the flooding to poor drainage and roof problems. The ministry claimed the flooding was unrelated to recent repairs and resulted from unusually heavy rainfall. Lumpkin disputed this, stating that roofing work exacerbated drainage issues and expressed frustration over the slow pace of improvements since the school returned from the University of Trinidad and Tobago Valsaint campus. He criticized a recent ministerial visit as mere theatrics, asserting the school was not ready for full occupation. Lumpkin also dismissed claims about missing fans as distractions from the real issues, and emphasized that teachers seek a safe environment to teach effectively. Tutor plans to monitor the situation and communicate with its members about next steps. 2 men were found dead in separate incidents early yesterday morning. The first incident occurred around 4 a.m. in St. Helena, where Shakil Kwame, a doubles vendor from Laundry Road, was ambushed while parking his car with food items. Police reported that he was stabbed multiple times and died at the scene. His body was discovered around 8 a.m. by a relative, as no one in the area came forward immediately after the attack. Senior officers from the North Central Division noted that Kwame was not known to them, and local residents indicated they had not seen him before. In a separate incident, a man's body was found at Batiste Cemetery in Morvan around 5:45 a.m. after someone reported the discovery to the police. Officers from the Northeastern Division Task Force secured the scene. The crime scene unit, along with the Region 1 Homicide Bureau, conducted an examination. Police are awaiting an autopsy result to determine the cause of death. And the body has been taken to a mortuary in East Port of Spain for identification. As of last night, the murder toll stood at 450 compared to 426 at the same time last year. Police have initiated an investigation into the operations of the Shaw Park Licensing Office, confirmed by Deputy Commissioner of Police Saret Martin, who leads intelligence and investigations. While she stated that the investigation is at a sensitive stage and updates will be provided when appropriate, no specific details were disclosed. The investigation led to the cancellation of vehicle inspections appointments on Tuesday, frustrating many customers. Rendon Wright expressed his dissatisfaction after being informed by a licensing officer that he needed to visit the Chauvin Road licensing office to reschedule his appointment. He described the situation as unacceptable and an inconvenience. Another affected customer, Jovan Nero, highlighted the impact of his daily earnings due to the cancellations. When they announced the cancellations, we were left in the dark about when inspections would be rescheduled, he said. As a self-employed individual with family responsibilities, Nero expressed that challenges he faced in managing his time around the sudden changes. Let's look and go into more further news. No authorization has been granted for vehicles to park inside Nelson Mandela Park. According to Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen, this announcement comes in the wake of several vehicles being towed during the Caribbean Premier League, a match between the Guyana Amazon Warriors and Trinbago Night Riders on Wednesday night. Public outrage followed as videos circulated on social media showing the towing of vehicles from the park while the match was ongoing and the nearby Queen's Park Oval. The situation escalated when a group allegedly broke the park's lock and began charging drivers a fee for unauthorized parking. Police from the traffic branch intervened upon discovering the situation and ordered the removal of the vehicles. There was no authorized parking in the park for the event. Proper parking management procedures were not followed, an officer stated ahead of the TKR's game against the Antigua Falcons. Authorities have issued warnings to motorists to comply with traffic regulations and to only park in designated areas, stating that violations would lead to enforcement actions. The incident sparked discussions on social media, with many users criticizing the police response. One commenter expressed concern about the dangers of searching for their vehicle late at night, while another suggested boycott future games due to inadequate parking options. Frustration was evident among attendees who called for better arrangements. Now let's take a look at sports. The Ministry of Sports and Community Development recently honored 10 educators at the Community Sports Titans Teachers Edition Award Ceremony. Among the recipients were physical education teacher Dr. Nico Paris and Joseph Brewster, president of the Secondary Schools Track and Field Association. The other honorees included Melvin Thomas, former volleyball star David Thomas Jr., Marva John Logan, Senadi Blackman Warwick, Robert Maurice Jacob, Kern Thom, Dennis Noel, and Roland Hussein. These educators represent 7 sporting disciplines, including track and field, football, cricket, volleyball, and martial arts. The award ceremony was part of the ministry's Shape Sport, Health, Athletic Performance, Empowerment in Communities program. The Community Sports Titans initiative celebrates educators who have played a crucial role in integrating sports into education. The 2024 awards specifically recognizes teachers who have nurtured talent, promoted physical activity, and inspired holistic student development. The Ministry of Sport highlighted that these teachers' dedication has transformed students and made a lasting impact on their communities, underscoring the significance of sport in education and fostering values such as discipline, teamwork, and personal growth. So let's take a look at the weather. The weather today is going to be mostly sunny with some patchy rain possibly later on in the day. Our temperature is around 33 degrees Celsius during the day and will drop to 25 degrees Celsius tonight. Humidity remains high at around 88% with a light breeze from the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Rain chances are low at about 17%, but there could be brief showers later on this evening. Expect similar conditions throughout the weekend with partially cloudy skies and possible light rain on Saturday. Sea conditions around Trinidad and Tobago are currently moderate, with some areas experiencing slightly rougher seas, with waves up to ranging 1.2 to 2 meters in open water, and our weather partially cloudy with occasional isolated showers. Visibility is generally good, but localized rain may reduce visibility temporarily. As a warning for small crafts, advisory is in effect, particularly for areas exposed to the northeast trade winds. Small vessels are advised to exercise caution. And surf the north and east coast are experiencing moderate surf, making conditions for swimming and water sports somewhat challenging. Conditions are expected to remain stable, but it's advisable to check for updates regularly. For the latest information, refer to local marine advisors and weather services. Recapping the headlines, St. George's teachers strike at Stuta criticizes ministry for fanfare and PR gimmicks. Licensing office is under investigation by police. Accidental doubles vendor stabbed to death. Citizens express outrage over CPL wrecking. That was your news to 4 p.m. on the Street 919 FM. I am Dale Edwards. Do have a fantastic evening and a wonderful weekend. Up next, TC and Heavy Duty Future of Talk.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.